Our learning target for this video is students will be able to use substitution and operations with integers, fractions, and decimal numbers to evaluate an algebraic expression with multiple variables. So recently we've done this with just a single variable. Today we're going to add on to that and be having two or more variables within our expression. Here's our first example. Evaluate 3x minus 2y when x equals 4 and y equals -7. So our algebraic expression is right here. It's the 3x minus 2y, and we're giving you the values of x and y to substitute. So what is our first step? That's right. Step one is to replace each variable with its given value. You may have said substitution. We're going to substitute the x and y values into the expression. So I rewrote it here, 3x minus 2y. I color coded so you see the x is the 4, y is the -7. So you see the process, right? It goes right in there. The y is -7. So replace the y with the -7. That is substitution, and we use the parentheses to show the multiplication and to show the substitution process itself. So our next step is just to simplify using the order of operations. Again, PEMDAS, we're going to do our groupings first. If there's any groupings that need to be simplified, if not, we skip that. Exponents, if we have any exponents. If not, we skip it. Then our next level is multiplication and division. Again, working left to right. So multiplication not necessarily ahead of division, whatever comes first. And then our last level is addition subtraction, again working left to right. And oftentimes here we like to change our subtraction to addition problems anyway. So those are our operations. We've got to make sure we do that right to get the correct answer. So first step, 3 times 4 is 12. And then this is a subtraction sign, right? Subtracting 2 times -7. So that's actually +2. So 2 times -7 is -14. So we have 12 minus -14. This is where you have to be very careful. Students a lot of times mess up right here with these signs. What's the subtraction sign? What's the negative sign? This is another example where I changed it afterwards here in my example. So I changed it now to addition. I went 12 plus, you add the opposite, 12 plus 14. But some of you may prefer to rewrite this as 3 times 4 plus, right, plus -2, add the opposite, and then that's times -7, right? So that's acceptable. You could rewrite the expression, you can remove the subtraction sign, make it addition side by adding the opposite, and we're going to get the same thing, right? Because then we're going to get 12 plus -2 times -7 is +14, right? And then 12 plus 14 is how we get 26. Example 2, evaluate 12a minus 3b minus 5c when a equals 2.4, b equals 4.3, c equals 1.7. So again, our expression is this, 12a minus 3b minus 5c. Remember, algebraic expressions, there's no equal sign. And this time I mixed it up for you. I threw in an ABC. Remember, we can use any letters in the alphabet to be our variables. We just know the most common is X, Y, and Z. But by all means, we can use A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. All right, what are we going to do next? So this expression has 3 variables. So we're going to replace each of the variables with their value. So A is the 2.4. We substitute it in. B is the 4.3. We substitute it in. C is the 1.7. We substitute it in for C. The biggest place you can make a mistake here is accidentally putting the wrong value in for the variable. So a common mistake is someone puts 4.3 in for A. Oops, that's a mistake, right? So you got to be very careful when you're going through the process that you're putting in the correct number when we're dealing with multiple variables like this. All right, so we're going to multiply 12 times 2.4, and we get the 28.8 minus, again, that's a subtraction sign right now, minus 3 times 4.3, so we get minus a positive 12.9. Again, subtraction sign here, minus a positive 5 times negative 1.7, so we're going to subtract negative 8.5. Again, if you prefer, we could go add the opposite. Add the opposite. Okay, so if we did that, we still have 12 times 2.4, which is our 28.8. Excuse the chicken scratch here on my screen. Plus, and then we're going to go negative 3 times 4.3. So we're going to write this as negative 12.9. I ran out of room, but then I'm going to say plus negative 5 times negative 1.7. So we know that's a positive 8.5. So again, wherever you want to do the add the opposite, change it. Wherever you're comfortable doing that is fine. So then we're going to simplify this. So I went 28.8 plus the negative 12.9. That gave me 15.9. And then plus the 8.5. And then combine those, and you get negative 24.4. Example 3, evaluate 9x plus 2y minus 6z when x equals 1/3, y equals 1/2, z equals 2/3. So again, our expression is this, 9x plus 2y minus 6z. That's our algebraic expression. So let's substitute. 1/3 goes in for x, so bam, we got 9 times 1/3. Negative 1/2 goes in for the y, so we have the 2 times the negative 1/2. And then for z, it's 2/3. The 2/3 goes in for the z, so it's minus 6 times 2/3. Again, on this one, and we could make this plus negative 6 times 2/3 as we go to simplify. All right, so we're dealing with fractions. So remember, multiplying fractions, it's really not that bad. 9 over 1 times 1/3. Well, 9 times 1 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. 9 over 3 is like saying 9 divided by 3 is how we got the first 3 here. Okay? 2 times negative 1/2, well, 2 over 1 multiplied by negative 1 over 2 equals, well, that's going to be negative 2 over positive 2. Negative over positive is negative, and 2 over 2 is a 1, right? That simplifies down to just a 1. So that's how we got plus a negative 1. And then 6 times the 2/3 here is going to be 6 over 1 multiplied by 2 over 3. So that gets us 12 over 3, which is how I got the 4. And then it was subtracting 4, so it was minus 4. Again, you can change it to add the opposite, so then we can make that plus a negative 4. So we have 3 plus negative 1 plus negative 4. And 3 plus negative 1 is 2. 2 plus negative 4 gets us down to negative 2 is our answer. One more example. I want you to see that it's not always going to be simple as the ones I did before. Here's one, and I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball at you. 4xy minus 30z. 4xy minus 30z when x is 10, y is 1/2, z is 2/5. So question for you is, what's the operation between x and y? So we know when there's no operation sign between the two variables, that means it's multiplication. So this is actually 4 times x times y. 4 times x times y. And then minus 30 times z. So we're going to do the same process now as we're going to substitute in. So 10 goes in for x, 1/2 goes in for y. We put our parentheses there, so we have our multiplication is going to be right here. Subtraction sign, minus, and then 30 times 2/5. If I want to change this to addition problem, add opposite. So then this would be like saying plus negative 30 times z. Same exact value you'll get. All right, so now we're going to simplify. So I go 4 times 10 is 40. And 40 times 1/2 is how I get 20 here. Minus 30 times 2/5. So that's going to look like this. 30 over 1 multiplied by 2 over 5. That gets us 60 over 5. 5 goes into 60 12 times. So that's how we get it's minus positive 12. Or if we did add the opposite here, it's going to be 20 plus negative 12. And then to simplify that, 20 plus negative 12 is how we get 8. So again, when you evaluate an expression, when x is 10, y is 1/2, and z is 2/5, for this expression, the value of that expression is 8. Let's try a few. And for these, I'm going to give you, we're going to use the same values for the variables. So I'm giving you m is 7, r is 8, t is 2. Our first one, you'll notice we're not using all those variables, right? Those are the variables I'm giving you. But for the first expression, it's just 5m minus 6. So if you can do this in your head, great, do it in your head. If you need to take out a piece of paper real quick, a little scratch paper, and write this problem down, do that as well. Your choice. All right, see how you did on this one. So you should have went 5 times my m value is 7, so we're going to substitute 7 for m minus 6. 5 times 7, 35 minus 6. 35, that's like saying 35 plus negative 6, which is going to get us 29. Try this one out. Again, m is 7, r is 8, t is 2, and our expression is 4m plus t. Evaluate that expression. All right, let's do it. So 4 times 7 plus my t value is 2. So again, you got to be careful. There's 3 values up here. Easy mistake is to substitute the wrong number in for the variable. I could easily put 8, which is r, instead of 2 there. I made a mistake. So then 4 times 7 is 28 plus the 2. So on this one, we should get 30. All right, last check for understanding problem here. We have mr over t as our algebraic expression. Again, our values for m is 7, r is 8, t is 2. All right, let's do it. So m is 7, so I'm going to go 7. mr means m times r, so r is 8. So that's 7 times 8 all over or divided by t, which is 2. Put that for this show. I'm substituting it in. All right, 7 times 8, 56 divided by 2. So our answer for this one is 28. So how'd you do with these? Let me know how you're feeling with this. Write down what are your questions, what's your point of confusion that I can address in the classroom.